What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video from Pink Tourmaline. I just had this epiphany today, and maybe it's not even that groundbreaking of an epiphany. You be the judge, you tell me. But it just occurred to me. I made a video a couple days ago about what the world's going to look like with AGI. And I am on the side of believing that it's going to be the beginning of a beautiful human renaissance era, meaning it's not going to descend into chaos. Maybe it will during the transition period. Like there will be a transition period, I believe, which will be tricky, where large chunks of the workforce are losing their jobs, losing their any way to make money. So it's at this point there will be it could get rough. Let's say when 20 or 30% of the workforce is out of work, we're still functioning in the current economic system. It's going to be tricky. Hopefully, governments will intervene and people will be just fine for those who start to lose their jobs first. But eventually, once we adapt and adjust to a new economic system, maybe that we basically don't need to trade services or time or anything for a monetary return. Essentially, we'll be living in a world of abundance. And so I think when we get to that point, it's actually going to be a beautiful era. Now, I know a lot of people have said, well, what's going to be the point of living at that time where everything will be kind of taken care of? We don't have to go out and work to make money. Essentially, we'll be on some sort of universal basic income, maybe. And what I talked about in the video is that we'll be focusing more on, and I still believe this, we'll be focusing more on human interaction, relationships, nurturing those relationships, maybe human to human competition, creating art, going to live performances, creating live performances, just sharing and exchanging ideas, facilitated perhaps by AI. And maybe even that the AI will facilitate our ability to manifest and to create interesting things or bring to life interesting ideas. Okay, great. Could be an interesting, beautiful world where anything is possible. But then we come back to this idea of what's the point? What might be the point of life at that time where things almost feel too easy? Well, I just had this thought today and it felt profound to me, so I wanted to share it and make a video about it. When we think about what we hear from people that have crossed over to the other side, and come back from NDEs, from hypnosis-induced therapy sessions, ultimately, we come to this life to learn, and the vehicle of learning and improving and evolving spiritually, energetically, whatnot, is choices. It always comes down to choice. There was another amazing NDE that said, well, why is there evil in the world? Why do bad things happen? It's because the purpose of this life being a learning vehicle is that there has to be the option for both good and bad, for us to make positive choices or negative choices. And through that ability to make those choices, that's how we learn from the repercussions, from the consequences, both good and bad. So I started thinking about this and thinking about what may be the point at that time, where it feels like what we're so driven towards right now is building a business, working somewhere, making money, building a family, having a family unit, etc. All these things, those might go to the wayside because we won't be obsessed anymore with hoarding resources or just pure survival. That will all be taken care of. It's going to come down to choices. And I think that is at the heart, that is at the foundation of our existence on this planet, is to make choices, to exercise our free will, which we all have. And through that exercising of the free will, we learn, we grow, we evolve. And I think the same thing will continue to be there in the future. Imagine when information is just going to be so easy to access at the touch of a finger, maybe even at the just saying something, right? Like we're talking to Gemini and all these things right now. We can just say and manifest, or even think. Who knows? It may even come to a point where we're just thinking and manifesting. Okay. So we'll have that ability. Life will, quote unquote, seem easy, but there will still be the ability to make good choices and bad choices in our lives. How to use this great power that we'll be able to wield. How to say the right thing or not say the right thing to people around us that we care about, that we don't care about, etc. So I think that's where the focus is going to be when we get to that point, is just on a daily basis. How do we make the right choices with relationships, with our health, right? At that point, we'll have perfect information, I imagine, or close to perfect information in terms of how to take care of ourselves. But we have a lot of good information today. People are still continuously making wrong choices, suffering from addictions, whether it's drugs and narcotics or food addictions or all sorts of different types of addictions. This world is a landmine of addictions. Ultimately, I think that's where the focus will be, just trying to really get in tune with our higher selves, trying to be the best people we can be to others and everything around us. And the vehicle for being the best we can be will be those choices. And when we make the right choices, it'll feel good, I imagine. We'll be living our best lives. If we don't, we'll have those repercussions. We'll suffer those consequences. But again, it's all in the effort for our soul to learn and spiritually evolve. That's all I got for you guys today. This was just popped into my mind today when I was out and about. It just flew in there and it felt like a big revelation. You might hear it though and may not feel the same way. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is something interesting that I've talked about today, that this epiphany that I had, or do you think this is fairly obvious and nothing groundbreaking? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but I wanted to share. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.